All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, we're coming to this video by Liberal High Mind. I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure I go show Liberal High Mind some love. And he uploaded this one saying that Barack Obama is running for re-election. I'm like, okay, now they want to try to get Barack Obama to run for re-election as if that's going to hurt Trump. It don't matter who they try to get in office. Nobody is beating Donald Trump. Now, I don't even know how Barack can even run if he already ran twice. So I don't even know how that's even possible. But, you know, at this point, like I told y'all before, they are trying to do anything. They're trying to do anything to hurt Donald Trump. Whether they know Biden can't do it because Biden is getting stumped in the poll numbers right now. So right now, they just probably fishing around to see who they can get in office, whether it's Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, anybody. They're trying to go and get anybody. We already know Barack Obama probably been the one the whole time calling all the shots behind the scenes. We don't need no more Democrats for presidents. So like I say, it's kind of getting weird here, but at the end of the day, we all know Donald Trump is going to win this year regardless of who's running against him on the other side. And me personally, I stand with Donald Trump. And that's just what it is. So like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody who clicked on this video for the very first time. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive straight into this. Like I said, please watch the entire video. When you do that, YouTube will share it so more people can see my reaction, and that right there is where it helped the channel grow. So let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video and hit that like button, all right? Without further ado, let's dive straight into it, and let's see exactly what is going on.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, bringing bad news to the TDS sufferers every single day since 2019. You know, I've been using the word panic, desperate, desperation a lot lately, and that's because it absolutely applies. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or the greatest psychoanalyzer of all time to be able to see it. It's incredibly obvious, and now it's not just me saying it. Now, apparently, the puppet master behind the scenes of Joe Biden's presidency or residency, Barack Obama, now confirms our speculation or our assumption to be true. The Democrats are panicking. We went from 6 months ago, Donald Trump is unelectable, Donald Trump is exactly who we want, that's what the Democrat establishment was telling us. We know we could beat Trump, we're more scared of Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. We went from that narrative to now, holy crap, what the frick did we do? We've created a monster. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Democrat electoral panic is seriously setting in, reality's setting in. We got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so we've all seen this clip, obviously.
Knowing what you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that.
And so we know who's really president here. It's not Joe Biden, it's Barack Obama. I believe that Joe Biden's first term in office is really Obama's third term, and really it's his gloves off term. There's a lot of stuff he would have never been able to get away with during his time in office. It would have either hurt his legacy or made him seem too radical, and so he's using Joe Biden as a proxy to get the job done, attempting to move the nation more towards democratic socialism. Well, it seems like now Barack Obama is worried that he might not get his fourth term.
As President Biden ramps up his general election campaign, there are new warning signs. The Washington Post reporting former President Obama has raised questions about the structure of President Biden's re-election campaign. Two sources confirmed to NBC News that Obama and Biden met over lunch in December and discussed the campaign, with Obama expressing deep concern about Mr. Trump's political strength. Underscoring the urgency, one source telling me this is an all-hands-on-deck moment.
Here's the report from the Washington Post. Obama, worried about Trump, urges Biden's circle to bolster campaign. Former President Barack Obama has raised questions about the structure of President Biden's re-election campaign, discussing the matter directly with Biden and telling the president's aides and allies the campaign needs to be empowered to make decisions without clearing them with the White House, according to 3 people familiar with the conversation. Obama grew animated in his discussion relating to the 2024 election and former President Donald Trump's potential return to power. One of the people said that he has suggested to Biden advisors that the campaign needs more top-level decision makers at its headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware, or it must empower the people already in place. Obama has not recommended specific individuals, but he has mentioned David Plouffe, who managed his 2018 race, as the type of senior strategist needed at the Biden campaign. So Obama's sounding the alarm, panicking, and it seems he's now taking over the Biden headquarters, even now attempting to inject his own campaign manager surrogate at the top of the Biden team. They're trying. It seems as though they're literally trying everything these days. But honestly, I think for the most part, it's going to be a futile effort. The reality is that Obama strategies will not work with Joe Biden. Obama wants to inject his own people into the Biden campaign and is also requesting that they have the ability to make decisions without having to clear it with the White House. But what I think Obama doesn't understand is that the problem isn't rhetoric. The Democrats have tried literally everything. The last 2 years has been nothing but rhetoric experimentation coming out of the White House, from Ultra MAGA to Bidenomics. The list goes on and on. Everything has failed, and now they're simply returning to Orange Man bad, Ultra MAGA bad, and it's clearly falling flat. The basic reality is that Biden is just done. The people have soured on Joe Biden. Nothing Joe Biden does or says will ever fix the current reality of this void human being currently occupying this executive role. He's a clown. Everybody knows it, and there's no fixing that. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. Obama gets it. He's trying to do what he can. They all get it. And the reason I know they get it isn't necessarily by what they're saying, but rather by what they're doing. They know they can't actually win on the issues. They know that Joe Biden speaking to the American people, first of all, isn't going to draw crowds, but most importantly, isn't going to draw voters to the polls. They know that putting Joe Biden out there pushing some sort of messaging campaign is not going to get people eager for a second Joe Biden term. And so what are they doing? As per usual, attempting to play as many dirty games as they possibly can. That's why all the Democrat donor bucks, all the money, is being spent on lawsuits instead of actual messaging. When you can win on messaging, you don't need to spend money attempting to get your political opponent off the ballot. You don't need to continue.
Exactly. Trying to get them off ballots and stuff. See, because that's their way of trying to defeat Donald Trump. Now you got Barack Obama sitting up here trying to put his people with Biden to think, oh, okay, if you get some of my people, that'll help you with Donald Trump. No, it's not. Joe Biden is done. He's done. So, I mean, you can see Barack, we've been knowing for the longest that he's the one behind the scenes trying to call everything. Now he done had a dinner or a meeting with Joe Biden in December trying to discuss, because he is so nervous and scared that Donald Trump is going to become president because of the poll numbers. Exactly. Donald Trump is going to become the president. But look what Barack trying to do. Think he can help Joe Biden out. Don't nobody want to hear anything from Joe Biden. No one takes this man serious at all. And I mean, I know Barack Obama knows this. So we already know he's been the one trying to call the shots behind the scenes, trying to put a bug in Biden's ear, telling him to do this and do that, and think that's going to beat Donald Trump. But it's not. It's not. Like, come on, man. We ain't stupid. And he up here talking about a third, like if he was to run a third term. No, that's not going to happen. And there's no way that Joe Biden is going to get reelected for a second term. It's over with. It's over for Barack. It's over with for Joe Biden. Donald Trump will be reelected. It's just what it is. And they know that. That's why all the Democrats are panicking right now. That's the reason why, like I said, they're trying to get them thrown off ballots. That's why you got Fannie Willis and Jack Smith, Letitia James. That's why you got all of them running around to these courtrooms trying to keep Donald Trump in courtrooms, try to stop the man from campaigning, something that he wants to do. He wants to be campaigning, but they are constantly holding him up in courtrooms over dumb stuff, over nonsense. So like right now, like I've said before, they just throwing anything to see what's going to stick to the wall. They just doing it. It don't matter what it is. Anything they feel like they can destroy Donald Trump, they're going to try to do it. And it's not going to work. I don't care how many conversations that Barack had with Joe Biden. It's not going to work. So anybody thinking that Biden is going to get reelected, this right here is just what I think about it. It's just not going to happen. Biden is done.
Obviously sent your anti-democratic goons to do their little media runs justifying the ripping of Donald Trump from the ballot when you can win on the issues, when you can actually convince people to vote for you.
Right.
There's no need to engage in that type of...
Convince people to vote for you by talking, telling them what you're going to do, not going around just trying to slander Donald Trump and try to use that and do that to try to win. That's the type of stuff that I'm just so sick of, bro. And like I've told y'all before, I'm going to continue to call out this mess. I'm not going to let this just fly over my head. Like, if you're going to beat Donald Trump, beat him fair and square. Talk to the people. Try to win the people over. Don't try to win the people over by trying to slander Donald Trump and trying to get him thrown off ballots for your own political gain. That's what we have a problem with.
Behavior ever. That's the most telling element. Democrat action is almost always correlated not only with election seasons, but with polling numbers. You know, back during the initial indictment drops, when it came out that Alvin Bragg was going to be indicting Donald Trump and that possibly more were to follow, the Democrat calculus of the time was, let's paint Donald Trump like a martyr, so we guarantee that voters support him in the nomination process because he's the guy that we want to face. Well, they got exactly what they voted for. Trump support at the time was on the decline. Ron DeSantis was rising, within 10 points in some polls, but the moment they took those actions, Trump started to skyrocket. But they were hoping that support for Trump would only skyrocket within Republican circles or in the Republican nomination process.
Y'all know what the crazy part about this whole thing is? That it's so funny that the Democrats really thought that Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis was going to be a bigger threat than Donald Trump. They literally said they was more scared of Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, and they was not worried about Donald Trump. Now, all of a sudden, they ain't studying them two, and they so focused on Trump on trying to take him down. Ain't that weird? But y'all wasn't worried about Donald Trump. Y'all was worried about Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. But now all y'all attention is now on Donald Trump. Why? Because he's winning in the polls. Why? Because you know he's going to get reelected, and it's just a matter of time. And now y'all just running around panicking.
Then, all of a sudden, well, this started to happen. Then, probably the scariest part of all, independent support for Trump started to skyrocket. He's up pretty much 10 points and sometimes even more in almost every poll released. Then it gets even worse for the Democrats. Donald Trump starts making gains with black voters and Hispanic voters and young voters. We've covered all of it. All the groups that Democrats thought they had a stranglehold on, all the groups that Democrats believed belonged to them, how disgusting that is, started to jump off the leftist bandwagon, one after another. And now all of a sudden, we're seeing desperate Secretary of States and partisan state Supreme Courts attempt to remove Donald Trump from the ballot. You think that would happen if Trump was polling horribly? Of course it wouldn't. It's always correlated. It's always perfectly timed. The Supreme Court Roe v. Wade draft leak happened right before the midterms. The raiding of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home happened right before the midterms. All of these Democrat actions are always perfectly timed with either elections or public sentiment shift. They always follow one specific phenomenon, and that is Democrat panic. When Democrats feel as though they have their back against the wall, they'll do literally anything. Nothing will stop them because their thirst for power is unquenchable. And now, of course, history is repeating itself. It's happening once again, except this time it seems to be backfiring. I think this time they took it a step too far. This is the most desperate they've ever been, and that's why we're seeing this multi-pronged attack. But most importantly, when you expose yourself as being anti-democratic, corrupt actors, well, then the narrative shifts, and that's where things start to backfire. That's what we're seeing. That's truly what I believe we're seeing. We're seeing desperation, desperate people attempting multiple Hail Marys at once. Democrat donors are sounding the alarm. The proxy president is now sounding the alarm. And all of it, while disgusting, evil, and wrong, all of it is kind of in a way a good sign. What it actually means is that Trump has a legitimate path towards victory, and they know it. I don't know, I think they've unleashed a political beast here just like they did in 2016. I think Democrats are repeating history. They're crying wolf, engaging the Streisand effect. They're doing everything wrong in their desperate actions. And I'm just hoping it all backfires spectacular. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully.
All right, another video, great video by Liberal High Mind. Like I said, Barack Obama is just telling Joe Biden to his campaign, just bolster his campaign, bolster them. Boy, this right here is just crazy, man. But like I said before, we all knew that Barack Obama been in the background for the longest, you know, talking and trying to help Joe Biden, telling him he need to bolster the people around him to see if this gonna help him defeat Donald Trump, and it's just not. I mean, come on, look at the polls. Joe, I mean, he is imploding right now. Imploding. And Donald Trump is surging to the wind. Just like Liberal High Mind said, like right now the Democrats are just throwing Hail Marys. I've said that throughout this whole video. I said this in almost every other video, that they just willing to do anything they feel like they can hurt Donald Trump and get him thrown off ballots and stuff like that, where they got to keep lying on him, trying to threaten to get him put in prison, trying to, I mean, just take money away from him. They are trying everything, and it's just sickening to keep watching. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about all of this and about Obama, I guess, potentially trying to run again. It seemed like he ran for a third term because he been in the background with Joe Biden for the longest, telling them everything to do. So it's just like he's running. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.